So preparing your pop. Pop is your, Tim went over there and basically sat down with them, went over the numbers, walked the property, reintroduced himself to Keith, and got it under contract for $42,000, and you're trying to sell it now for $47,000? I mean,
and I just told 100 people on video what I'm getting it for.
There you go, yeah. Bottom line is, but there's going to be someone, if it's a good deal, there's going to be a buy and hold investor, there's going to be somebody.
I'll probably sell that one to Scott.
Okay, there you go. Scott who?
Belson.
Oh, okay. So, because you know that Scott wants properties in that neighborhood.
He wants Mesquite under 50 that are good rentals.
Bottom line is, you need to get information to Scott, right?
Yeah.
And so what kind of information do we get? What do you need to be prepared to show an investor, the Scotts of the world, the Tims when he's got his rehab hat on, or the George Roddies of the world? So number one is I want video. I want y'all to go get a flip camera, go get one of these $49 cameras, get a camera that you can download. You can shoot video and download. If you don't have a smartphone with a camera, just use an iPhone, okay? I need this because I want you to load this to YouTube. I want the outside. And I'm going to show you a video. I'm going to try to show you a video. The guy upstairs is coming here. The next slide, I think, is the video that I want to watch. I want you to do the exterior. This lady, this video, Odalis, she emailed me 2 days before the auction, and this was a tax lien property. And I said, shoot a video, and she did a good job. So I want to show it to you. And she sent me a little one-pager. I already had all the comps and stuff like that. I want exterior and neighborhood. I want you to do this in front of the yard. Just like Tim said, I want you to look at all. I want you to do a 360, a small 360, and then walk around the perimeter. I want you to do the video of the interior or make comments. Pictures would be nice. I want, the contract and terms. Joanne, you need to show, I need to know that. Unless you want to be, Stacy sometimes, she'll bring me a deal and she'll mark out what she has it under contract for. And I'm okay with that. I don't care. I really don't care if you're making $50,000 on the deal. Because it doesn't matter. Whether you're making $500 or $50,000, here's what I'm going to pay Joanne. And I'm happy if you make $10,000. So let me know what type. Is this an all-cash deal? Can I take over their loan, Joanne? Or do I just need to be prepared to pay it off? Whether it's my money, hard money, it doesn't matter. How many liens are there? That's if I'm taking over their mortgage. Have you done a title search, or are you waiting for me to do that? That's why I like doing my own title search. I want you to know how to, because that's part of the thing is if I'm taking over loans, I want to make sure you've already done a title search on it. I'm going to verify it anyway. Yeah. Mortgage balances, annual taxes, comps. I want to see all the comps. Just like he said, give me all the comps. I want active, sold, expired, and leased. I want monthly debts, if there are any, for HOA. You've got to go. So this is a pretty thick packet of what you have. This makes up the POP, the Property Overview Packet. Number of bedrooms and baths, you'll get that. The clue report. What is a clue report? It's basically ask your insurance to run and see if any claims have been made in the last 4 years. I'm pretty sure it's 4 years. And then the property description, including all the overall condition. I'll show you, and one of the documents in your document library is called a POP. Will y'all turn to that real quick? This is just like a PDF file that, and I don't have it in front. Well, actually, I do. Let me show you real quick.
Okay. Here it is. We're going to play that video in just a second.
So all I do is, and this is just an idea of what, but you know, see how I can fill in today's date, and it will, you know, I'll put in June 11th, and then is it under contract? Yes. Type of transaction, it's a cash, or it's a mortgage assignment, or it's a subject to, or, you know, I mean, tell me what it is, who's the type of seller. I got foreclosure, FSBO, REO, absentee owner, the street address. I can fill in all this information. I've got type, it's a condo, apartment, and just print this out. You can upload a photo by coming in here. Anyway, you get the gist. So,
Wow.
and you, what's that?
I like that.
Yeah, and you just go through, and I look at, yeah,
I
I put in how many garage, converted, roof age, you know, is it 2 years, 8 years, 10 years, 30? Just give it as close as you can. And then you put in the YouTube link, the Flickr link, the Bing link, and the street, you know, get these links for me. Go ahead and do that. And bottom line, and then submit this to me. Or submit this to someone, but it gives you kind of a nice, it's got everything. Here's my ARV. Here's the rehab estimate. Here's the wholesaler fee. And you might put 0 and just put, hey, you know, like you bring it and you say, look, George,
Yeah, I'm not going to tell you anything.
138, right, is what your price is.
I'm not even going to fill anything out.
Exactly. I know you. You're not a good student.
You won't buy it.
Yeah. All right. Does that make sense to y'all? This is called the POP. This is, you know, I've got all these things, but then use this form and give me a reason to look at your deal. I get a lot of calls from people, hey, I got this deal. I'm like, great. Send me a POP. What's a POP? Come to my class. I mean, you know, I don't have time to look at your lead. I need a deal.
Right.
You haven't, well, I'm thinking about, no, I don't need to think about. I need you to send me a POP. What's a POP? Come to my class. Come to my program, then you'll learn. Because you're wasting my time. If you don't have complete information, all you're doing as an investor is you're just wasting my time. And
Well,
I'm being honest.
you're going to build a reputation as someone that doesn't do their homework, doesn't present a complete package, probably going to be wrong with the data, and then what happens is people stop opening your emails and they just start hitting that trash can button.
Yep. So here's what she did. She basically has asking $72,000 plus closing costs. ARV is $146. Rehab cost is $10,000 to $25,000. And then it has her name, and she put this little thing. She wasn't really, but great mix in neighborhood, 120 up to 226. And actually, this one, I think you could get. You know, and this was a neat little area, but it's not my backyard. Yeah. It's, you know, this is over in Little Hills or Forest Hills.
Little Forest Hills.
Great neighborhood.
It is. I looked at it right across the street. So let me click on this and see if it opens up.
Are you plugged in? Turn your mic off.
Turn my mic out. Where's the plug? Down there. And I'm gonna.
It'll go. That sound will go away.
Yeah. Let's see how long. So she's just kind of showing me. She told me 12 to 24,000. I'm like, 12? Really? Anyway, I'm going to buffer that a little bit. But what she did was she took her time and walked through the property and kind of just panned around. And she did close up, you know, because there was a lot of termite damage. And she wasn't trying to hide anything because she knows that don't try to hide anything because an investor, most of them, we know, I mean, we're going to figure it out. So we're not going to take what you say and probably buy. We're not from California where we'll just take anything as is because it's Texas. Bottom line is we want to verify everything. So,
and what will happen, though, is if you do it right, you'll get
A reputation as someone whose numbers are reliable, and Lord have mercy, I almost fell over. I mean, they get.
go ahead.
Are you buffering or are you showing? Does she talk during it?
Not really. I mean, that was the one thing is.
Do you have, if you pull up my YouTube channel real quick, I did that walkthrough last week on when I was wholesaling.
Yeah, but I didn't say anything to her. I liked how she took her time, walked around, that type of stuff.
There's investors that will literally tell me how much they'll pay based off of my marketing material because they know that when they show up, they're going to agree with what I put out. And Scott Belsley, the guy I was talking about, he's one of them that he'll call me and be like, hey, dude, I'll give you $38 for the house. And never once, I say never once, in the last couple of years since we started doing business, he doesn't get out there and try to get me lower.
That's because you have a history with him.
Right, and that reputation will spread about you in both ways, either if it's a good one or a bad one. You want to let that buffer? Maybe we can call another. I just got another buy call.
No, we don't have time.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, we do. Okay, go ahead.
Steve's waiting to call us.
Jim Snyder, 469-867-2904.
Jim Snyder.
I'm calling in response to cash for houses. Thanks a lot.
Is that fancy one, Ross? Is that fancy black and white freaking postcard?
It doesn't work.
It doesn't work. That's why I'm like, it doesn't have to be fancy.
Jim Snyder,
I
right?
just watched pictures with it.
I know.
He's old
Yes.
man.
Dirty old man.
Hello?
Jim?
Hello?
Is this Jim?
No, you the wrong number.
Jim just called me from that number.
Where do you do that?
Oh! He gave me the wrong number on the voicemail. There we go. I can call her ID.
Hello.
Can I speak to Jim?
Let's see.
Hey, Jim. Tim Harridge. Got a call from you about a postcard.
Yeah, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Pretty good.
Uh,
So, what are you guys doing? Buying rentals, investment, what?
Yeah, I buy rentals, I buy fix and sell, I sell to other investors, I kind of do a little bit of everything.
Okay. If you have the time, you might want to go by, 2106 Crosby in Carrollton.
2106 Crosby,
Yes.
and that's in Carrollton.
Yes.
Is that your house, or?
It's a house that I'm going to get rid of. And there's another one at 1821 Cedar Crest. Crosby, 1821 East Crosby in Carrollton.
Okay. Can you spell Crosby for me?
Crosby.
Glad I asked. I had it completely wrong.
Okay.
Okay. Can you tell me about these, or do you own them, or are you just thinking about dumping them?
Yeah, well, let's just say I have controlling interest in them right now, and I'm thinking about getting rid of them.
Okay.
And I also have a house at 2104 Cedar Crest, right next door to the one that's empty. And
Wait, Cedar Crest.
that one,
You say Crosby.
yeah, one's on Crosby
Okay,
and one's on Cedar Crest.
Okay, so I got 2106 Crosby.
And you got 1821, wait a minute, I think you said that wrong. 2106 Cedar Crest,
Okay.
1821 Crosby, East Crosby.
Okay.
And to make it even more confusing, 2104 Cedar Crest.
Okay.
I have that house that I'm carrying the note on, but I may want to dump that house. I don't know if you're interested in that
Yeah, I
kind
buy
of
those.
stuff.
Yeah, I buy those.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, are all three of these vacant, or?
No, I carried the note on the '04 property. And if you're on Crosby, I've got another one that I have that I'm entertaining the possibility of getting rid of. It's at 1923 East Crosby.
My gosh, you own all the Carrollton, don't you?
Well, I don't know. And then I have another one at 1603 East Crosby. And
Are
as long as
these-
you're over there, as long as you're over there, you might as well, if you want to give me an offer, I'm listening.
Okay, so I got 1603, 1821, and 1923 East Crosby. And then I got
Yeah.
2104 Cedar Crest and 2106 Cedar Crest. But 2104 Cedar Crest is just a note I need to buy.
That's a note. The 1821 Crosby is a note. The 1923 is not a note, but there is a family living in there that's getting ready to move.
Okay, and then 2106 is vacant?
2106 is vacant. I haven't done, the old tenants moved out, and I haven't done any make ready or anything on it.
Okay.
No,
And 1603 Crosby is a note?
it is not a note. I have a tenant in there right now.
About what they pay?
Well, because it's my daughter,
Oh.
they don't pay me a damn thing. That's the way that works.
Okay, yeah.
Actually, what I have in 1603 is I consider it more of a caretaker for the property while I'm deciding what to do with it.
I completely understand that. I've got family that is taking care of plenty of houses for me.
Yeah.
Okay, so on the notes, are they performing notes or are they non-performing?
Performing?
Okay, and then on the other houses, 1923 East Crosby, you said they were moving out of that.
That's correct.
Okay, did you evict them or?
No.
Okay.
It's my other son,
Man.
and he's finally agreed to move up to Denton. He's getting his PhD in environmental engineering or something.
You got a house in Denton for him to move into?
No, they looked at a duplex. I'm looking for a house up there.
I might got a line on one for you. Maybe we can trade.
Yeah, maybe we can.
Tell you what, okay, so can I get in 2106? That's the only vacant one. So is there a lockbox on it, or do you want to just meet up? Or, I mean, since I'm looking at half the town, I mean.
When do you think you might do it?
Well, I know I can't tomorrow. I've already got 4 appointments, and I know I can't Monday because I have 3 appointments, and I mean, that's a lot of houses
You
to
don't,
look at.
you don't tell me you work every day like I do you?
Yes, sir.
7 days a week?
Amen. If the sun's up, I'm working. If the sun's down, I'm working.
Okay.
I'll tell you what, how about Tuesday about 3 o'clock? You want to do Wednesday at 10?
Tuesday is not going to be good, but Wednesday about 3 would be a good time.
Okay, Wednesday at 3 would be perfect. And I'll pull some info, and we'll meet at 2106 Cedar Crest. And then from there, we'll just drive by and just kind of look at the financials, put together a spreadsheet, and just see where we'll be.
Sounds good?
Hey, thanks, Jim.
Okay, just give me a heads up call before you start this way.
All right, will do. All right, thanks. Bye-bye.
Hey,
Yeah. You got another
you
one?
looking for anything? In Oak Cliff?
Yeah.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Okay, 3026 Cliff Oak.
Cliff Oak or Oak Cliff?
Cliff Oak.
Okay.
It's directly by, well, it is in Kimball Estates. It's back over there where all those goes off of Keyston, Boulder, and Ravinia on. A real nice, quiet neighborhood.
At least not when you're there on a weekday.
I can be there anytime.
Well, is that one vacant or is that?
No, it is vacant. That one is vacant.
Do they have a lockbox on it, or I mean, I could swing by
No,
it tomorrow.
I would-
'Cause tomorrow I'll be in Oak Cliff.
You will?
Yeah.
What time?
Oh, don't get me lying, but I know I have an 11 o'clock in Mesquite, a 1 o'clock in Garland, so I think my 3 o'clock is in Oak Cliff. So, I mean,
Well, you might give me a call.
yeah, I'll just
and,
holler at you when I'm on my way over there, and maybe we can meet around
Yeah.
2 or 4 or something like that.
Yeah, about 2 or 4 would probably work, probably closer to 4.
Okay, well, let's just tentatively say 4, and then we'll try to hook up at 3026 Cliff Oak tomorrow at 4, and then we'll do the Carrollton deals on Wednesday.
Sounds good.
All right, thanks, Jim.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Hey, we need to send that guy a gift card because he really called in and played well, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
I mean, that is just consistent advertising. I mean, this guy, I've bought a lot of packages, and I'm going to tell you, you're going to get some, and before you know what you're doing, when you get a call like that, you need to get someone on your team quick. You need to call me, George. You need to call someone like Chuck, or you need to call someone that knows what they're doing, because it's a whole different ballgame. Because if I'm able to put this package together, I'll probably make about $100,000. Because a package like that of some great rentals in Carrollton, if you can package them up right and show some income and do some notes and present it properly, that's where some money is. The biggest package I ever bought was 17 duplexes from one estate. Made $234,000. It took 45 days from the day I got the lead to the day it closed. And I got lucky. I'll be the first to tell you, it was luck my mom met one of the granddaughters at a real estate function. And somehow they got to talking, and before you knew it, I put the package together. My friend Scott Horn helped me run the numbers a little bit and present it in a nice fashion. And I met a guy that paid cash for the whole thing. It was a $2 million deal. But I mean, he got like a 22% return on income-producing stable properties. He won and I won, and it was great. So anyway, I'm sorry to get off track, George.
No, that was good.
Yeah, I know, right? You want the Carrollton houses, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
You wrote the addresses
I
down,
already,
didn't you?
yeah, I already got the address.
I'm going to pull up to my appointment on Wednesday, and George will be like, you wanted me to come, right? I brought Brian to videotape. All right, we've got like an hour left. Not even an hour.
All right, so
40 minutes.
wow. Let me turn that on. So video is where it's at. You know, I
Yeah.
think the quick thing is get in, get out, video. I think you got the gist of walking the property, hopefully, and you're gonna learn what investors like and what they don't like. I thought, Ross, your video on that property that you submitted was great. You know, you took your time, you walked across to the other side of the room and then kind of panned around. So kudos to you, Ross. I think this one was decent. She showed me all the things that were wrong, gave me a good assessment, and I could make a determination, and it really helps me, saves me time. And that's the big thing, is don't waste these investors' time, because they start to get a little bitter if you keep on sending them and the numbers are bad and it just doesn't work out. They'll start hitting delete, right?
They won't unsubscribe.
Yeah.
They'll just hit delete, because every now and then they might want to see what you're up to.
Like this one was John D'Angelo. Look at his form. I mean, it has his template on top, his little logo with him at the top, which I didn't do, but it's Frisco ISD near Coit Spring Valley for $79,000. Price is $79 cash, tax assessed over $170. Near Coit Spring Valley, right? Great rehab, 322 with 2,200 square feet. House has had water damage and has mold, which will need to be remediated.
And if someone like D'Angelo is using the word remediated, it means that it has full-fledged mold and you have to hire a remediation company.
Right.
This is nice. This is something we talked about.
Oh, sorry.
Where it said $2,000 non-refundable deposit, buyer pays all closing costs, cash or hard money only. That's including your terms in your marketing collateral, and you have to do that. Save yourself a bunch of calls because if someone's going to yank you around and you put out there that they're going to have to put up a $2,000 non-refundable deposit, the jokers are going to not bother with that.
Right.
Unless
So, and when you click on the box.net, when you click on the box.net, which was right here, so I like that. Yeah, you put in what you're looking for. They gotta put up $2,000, $3,000, $5,000 non-refundable, and you're gonna separate the men from the boys or the girls from the women and whatever you want to say, and then you click on, and he had all his documents. Let's see. I don't know. There it is. So it's on box.net, and you just start going through and showing you all the pictures.
The point is, the good deals aren't hard to sell, but a properly presented good deal will sell for 5 to 10% more than a poorly presented good deal. Does that make sense? So we need to move on,
Okay.
but this is very important stuff. I mean, you've got to take these slides, and it tells you which websites to use, and you just need to use them. Yes, sir.
Tim, what's the average cost on a motor company coming in to do that?
I have no idea. I wouldn't even look at it.
Okay.
Yeah. My buddy John, he used to own a remediation company. Now he's an investor, so I could get. And he used to. I mean, he's like, it's a very profitable business for a reason, because we got insurance companies involved, and with this, you don't, because they're selling it as is. But anyway, I can find out because John used to own a remediation company, and he's an investor. To me, this is right up his alley because he knows exactly what to do. So, again, I'm not looking at it. I mean, I'm an investor, and I look at this and look at the numbers, and I know that area, but I'm like, remediation, I'm out. Mold, I'm out. It's going to take a lot of players. He's probably going to have to come down a little bit on that price. Finding your end buyer. How do we find an end buyer? I'd say one way, and these are it's really important. You've got to package it up and put it on Craigslist and have a website. I told you to have a web page or a website. Don't have a website, you have a web page. You have a buy site and a sell site. And that Real Yields is another place where you can do that. It will create a listing for you which has all the documents. You can upload a YouTube link and all your pictures. It's and you can post it to Craigslist. So check that out. Run some newspaper ads and look on Craigslist. If you post it on Craigslist, you're going to get some calls. Now, there'll probably be a bunch of tire kickers, right, that don't know, that haven't really, the serious. I'd go to auctions because those guys have cash, right, and they're looking for a deal. Call all these We Buy Houses, the John D'Angelo, but they're going to lowball you and go to the real estate clubs. Post it on DFWinvestors.com. Have y'all ever heard of that place? Raise your hand if you've heard of DFWinvestors.com. You know who owns that? This guy is watching. Oh, no, I mean, yeah, it's Tim. But post it on there. You've got 600 members that are going to, eyeballs that are on there.
Yeah.
All right?
So Meetup is, you can post to their bulletin boards, Bigger Pockets, eProperty Vault. The point is, and you can do, and we teach you how to do guerrilla marketing too. You've got to have the little core class signs that you stick on the corner. Look, New Western and Net Worth, that's how they have become these wholesale juggernauts. Why wouldn't you do it too?
Why wouldn't you just emulate what they're doing?
You go buy 10 blank signs, you write, investor house, must sell, cash only, worth $150, will sell for $75. And on Saturday after 10 o'clock, you go stick them out on the corner of busy intersections near the house.
But put in good numbers.
Yes.
All right. So call the FTC crew.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, look, we probably have a bigger database than you do. Am I right?
Yes.
So if you want to get it, now we'll have our hand out a little bit. We'll want a piece, but we're not greedy. We understand. Let's figure out how we all win together. Writing up the offer. How do we, once we find it, so Tim, you've got Keith, You got it under contract for $42,000, right?
Yep.
You started advertising it on DFW Investor. You went, and you found somebody that said, "Hey, I'll pay you," or it might be someone you know. How are you going to paper that transaction up where you protect yourself? You've got to assign this to this end investor, correct?
Yes.
So, what do you want to talk about? Always get what?
Non-refundable deposit, not earnest money. Deposit. It's not earnest money. It goes to the title company, and it's a deposit. If they terminate, you keep it. Period. They default, you keep it. I put provisions in here that says, is this mine?
I'm gonna do yours. Yeah.
Okay.
We do. I'm showing mine, but I didn't have a JPEG of yours. So
Okay.
I have yours. It's in the document library. The assignment of contract, and we have that.
You can read it, and we're just going to hurry because they're going to kick us out of here right after 5. So the thing about the assignment is you put any agreement that you have, put it in there. Do not transfer the right to negotiate or communicate with the seller.
Right here.
What I do is that the assignee, which is the person you're selling to, has to deposit non-refundable option check made payable to the assignor. I have them write the check to me. This money is credited to the sales price time of closing. This money is only refundable in the event that title cannot be conveyed. That's the biggest objection people have, and it's right there, simple. You get it back if title can't be conveyed. Other than that, you don't get it back. The assignment does not transfer any earnest money because you don't want the earnest money you put up to get transferred to them. And they acknowledge that they agree it has to close before X date. Back into the dates, protect yourself because buyers are liars, remember? So you schedule their closing 7 to 8 days, calendar days, before your closing on the contract. So worst case, buyer gets up to the day of closing, calls you and says, "Man, I can't close. Wife took my money." Or whatever excuse, say my grandma died, or whatever it is. If it's something that you can work out, you try to work it out. If it's something you can't work out, you take his deposit, you kill the deal, you got 7 days to work really hard and to at least try to make some money out of the deal. Because that's the thing, at that point, you just want to try to make $500 or $1,000 and so you don't lose the deal and you don't squash your name.
Well, you already made $1,000, or you got your money back from the non-refundable $2,000. I mean, whatever you can get. I mean, you said $1,000 deposit.
Yeah.
So
if at that point you're just trying to make anything out of it and get the deal
Right.
closed.
Right. Because you put your name on this that it was going to close 7 days from now, and if it's a good deal, you will. And you have a big enough. That's when you might need to say, "Hey, guys, Tim, George, can you blast this out for me?" And whatever we get over above, we split, or something like that, just so you can keep your good name intact.
See, and it says that this assignment of contract is null and void, and the assignee is in default if it doesn't close by that date. It's automatically.
Joanne, do you understand? You need to put whatever the contract. You have 30 days on your original contract, but really they need to close in 23 or 22. Are there any questions here? Do we have to notarize this?
Just how does that work if they close before you close?
I've never met a seller that didn't want their money early.
Because the contract originally said on or before July 10th. And you call them and say on July 2nd.
Say, "Hey, congratulations, your money's ready a week early." Now, if the seller can't do that for some reason, if they're out of town or whatever, then I tell the buyer, "Hey, congratulations, you just got a couple extra days." But I'm still going to make him go through the exercise and get his docs and his paperwork and his insurance and everything there to fund the transaction. I'm going to have him be ready. Even if I got to pay a couple days worth of interest to his hard money lender because they already funded the deal, I'd do that before I'd let him put it off till the next week.
Any questions? We got it under contract. We used the addendum A, and then we found the buyer by marketing our what? Marketing our POP. Do we need to notarize it? I don't think you need to. I mean, bottom line, it's not going to hold up in court, but you know what? What are you going to do? You've already gotten their money. So
yeah, you don't have to notarize a contract. You don't need to notarize an assignment.
All right, closing. What are you going to do before closing? I mean, this is supposed to close 7 days before you're closing. So what are you going to do? I mean, if you use your own title company, they're going to let you know if there's any problems, right? They're going to let you know if the docs aren't in, if the end buyer is getting a loan or getting a hard money, that type of stuff. Go ahead.
Real quick, does anybody need a break? We can take a quick 5 if you do. Huh?
Press on.
Press on? Sweet. All right. So closing, my favorite part. 72 hours prior to schedule, you really need to check with the title company and say, hey, what don't you have that you need, and how can I help you get it? You've got to be in control of this transaction, because remember, I don't care if I've sold you 6 houses. I don't trust you. We go sit at the
They didn't
bar.
trust me.
We go play golf. We can trust each other about that. But when it comes down to money and a transaction, I trust you to do what you say you're going to do, and I'm going to verify it. The CIA's motto is, in God we trust, all others we monitor. And you need to monitor every buyer you deal with. Make sure everything's taken care of. Inspect before you close. Find out if the buyer's going to need to do a walkthrough the morning of his closing. Find out in advance, because if you don't have the key, etc., you need to go, you're going to have to arrange it. Verify the closing time. Verify the numbers on the HUD. Get disclosure documents signed. You want to verify the numbers on the HUD, because title companies will mess up.
Yeah.
And they'll mess up on an assignment dollar amount. They'll mess up on
a deed.
On a deed. They'll mess up on deducting your earnest money out of your assignment fee. I mean, I've had assignments that's pretty simple. I've had them come back $1,500 short. And if you get into complacency mode, then the only recourse, because remember, you sold all your rights and interests to the contract for that fee. Your only recourse is to call Chuck and say, hey, Pops, you mind checking me that check for $1,500? And, the title company messed up. And then he's like, Tim,
This deal's already done.
I
Let's just kind of move on.
I'll shoot you $750.
Yeah.
So you just got to check everything. And then the other thing is about verifying the HUD is with your seller. Here's the thing that will make you really successful in this business. Go meet your seller at closing. Make sure you understand the documents and make sure everything met their expectations. Because when their expectations are met, and they go to church on Sunday and they hear someone talking about a problem they had in their life and a house that's a problem with them, who do they tell them to call? You. Because you did what you said you were going to do. You took care of everything and you made sure they were happy. Remember, you were sitting at the table eating that junky cookie.
That $20,000 cookie.
Right. And you may have only made $5,000 on that cookie, but they may start sending you other nasty cookies that are worth $5,000 a pop. And you'll happily eat a $5,000
Choke
cookie.
down, guys.
Yeah.
Choke down.
Because you never know when this guy's going to call you with 8 houses spread throughout Carrollton and Dallas, and it's a referral. Because if it's a referral versus a cold lead, it's going to take a while. I mean, a referral's great.
But
Cold
did you see
leads-
how he handled that call? It's just kind of, he's treating it like it's a sister, or, it's kind of a tough, just casual. Just be casual.
And you notice he warmed up.
And then, hey, just as about you buy anything? Yeah. You do? Okay.
Yeah, check that one out too. Make sure all the disclosure documents are signed and a 10 HUD. And then after you make sure your seller's happy, you need to turn around and sit down with Chuck, the buyer, and make sure he's happy. Make sure the title company that you selected treated him right. Make sure his lender, especially if you referred him to him, make sure they did right. Make sure everything went well and that he's happy. Why? Exactly. If he's happy with that one, he's going to be looking for another one from you. If he's not happy with that one, or if he doesn't like that title company, address it then. That way he'll actually consider doing business with you later.
All right.